You know, many of the honorees that we've had, I think I'm going to pick this up here.
Yeah, you try to hold it.
No, I'll just hold it. That's fine. You know, many of the honorees that we've had here, and a lot of people in general who just start lifting weights, they all seem to do it for the same reason. You know, many want to get bigger, or they feel they're too small, or they've gotten sand kicked in their face, or something like that along the way. You know, same old story, right? Well, not here. In this case, it was a nun who got him started. That's right, it was a nun. She gave him a book called Let's Take the Hard Road. It contained, among others, some of the named bodybuilders and their lifestyles. And it also showed the so-called right ways to live. Along with this guidance, he grew up in boys' clubs and YMCAs. Since his father left when he was only about 12 years old. He had a name change along the way, and then when he got out of the Air Force, he changed his name back. In the early beginnings of weight training, he did a lot of reading, as everybody else did, looked over all the courses, and did many of the courses, including Atlas and Jowett. Early in his career, he met who would become his mentor, Freddie Lowe, and soon after, they attended a meet, and they watched Clyde Emmerich breaking records. What else is new about that? This kind of fueled the fire for him to compete. He wanted more than anything to beat Clyde Emmerich. And he did. However, I believe Clyde considered it an exhibition, while Bob simply replied, "You lost the exhibition." He enjoyed the lifters' atmosphere a lot better than he did the bodybuilding atmosphere. And of course, the atmosphere was at the Duncan YMCA, where he was the program director. That was the scene. The Duncan Y had many benefactors, by the way, as many YMCAs did. But he didn't realize that one of the main benefactors of the Y was the Mafia. Not that that really had anything to do with anything, but it was kind of unique and interesting. He didn't realize that at the time. The Duncan Y wasn't in the best part of town, but then again, most of the YMCAs back then weren't. He put a lot of time and effort into helping putting together a team that started competing in the local colleges and universities, and then later on to national championships and Olympic teams. So the Duncan Y had the atmosphere, and it certainly had the stars to go along with it. But as time passed, however, the teams that he had helped build would be taken away by a new era of people who came in. And they said no more to the hernia factory at the Duncan Y. This all happened around 67 to 68. But the experience at the Duncan Y certainly was a motivator for his future lifestyle and success. His training always consisted of bodybuilding and weightlifting movements combined, always a little bit of each one. He was a definite subscriber to the Gremic philosophy at that time. Some of his initial titles of the approximately 40 that he captured were the Novice State, Mr. Chicago, Mr. Illinois, and Mr. Midwest. And then shortly after, the 1965 Mr. USA, 1966 Mr. America, and 66 FIHC Mr. Universe. You know, this guy was really just a jack of all trades as an athlete. He could do just about anything. And that's what the America really was about. And this guy really was that jack of all trades. Whatever the sport was, he could excel in it. While in the Air Force, he was a judo instructor, massage and acupuncture therapist. Later on, he created and still operates the Sports Fitness Institute. He's worked with many Chicago Bears and numerous athletes at all levels and all sport fields. He says his two greatest accomplishments were, of course, in weight training was, of course, one of them, the number one was being winning the Mr. America, of course. And the other one was beating Clyde Emmerich. You know, there's that name again, Clyde Emmerich. It looks like he certainly had Clyde's number in some way, and he was out to get old Clyde, I guess. His goals today, or certainly one of them, is to restart bodybuilding competitions along with athletic events as it used to be, and reinventing the press. And from what I hear tonight, this is probably going to start far sooner than later. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 1966 Mr. America, Bob Gajda.
We have a plaque for Bob that I want to read before he begins. Presented to Bob Gajda, guest of honor, AAU Mr. USA and Mr. America, FIHC Mr. Universe, outstanding weightlifter, inventor, and prolific writer, trainer of champion athletes, and those recovering from illness and disease. You're winning the AAU Mr. America and Mr. USA crowns, as well as the FIHC Mr. Universe title, against some of the toughest competitors in the world, established you as a true great in the world of bodybuilding. Your exercise inventions and published body of work on bodybuilding, fitness, and rehabilitation have established you as a teacher to the masses of the value of progressive resistance exercise. Your personal training of many of the nation's greatest athletes to lead them to improve performances, and your work with those who fell ill or became injured, putting them in need of exercise to help them restore vigor and functionality, has earned you legendary status as a trainer and healer. For appreciation for your great talent and dedication, we proudly present to you our highest achievement award, the AOBS Big Golf Award, on this Saturday, September 17, 2011.
And in good form, the legendary Jim Sanders presents Bob in his peak condition in his prime. Let's hear it. Polish calves. Kowski.
Well, thank you all. I'm highly honored. I'm a septuagenarian. That's 70. I still can do it all. I can do 18 chin-ups, so that makes me 18 years old. Fortunately, my face is 71 years old. I look more like Joe Paterno. But I'd like to thank you all. This is overwhelming for me to be honored by weightlifters. You know, my dearest friends have always been Olympic weightlifters. Very few bodybuilder friends other than Bill Pearl, Joe Benda, and a few guys, but I usually like to hang out with the weightlifters, so weightlifting is my love. And it's true, I want to help bring back the press. We've been talking in our area about running a competition in April, Mr. American Fitness, in it. We'll do Marvin Eder's parallel bar dips. We'll do all the chin-ups. When this guy's telling me to do 50 chin-ups, I said, well, that's the kind of body we should bring back, not the drug buffalo, what do you call it? Harry Paschal used to call them funny names. It certainly is obvious these days. So if any of you are interested in getting on the team, I'd be welcome to talk to you about it. But in any event, thank you. I'm very humble. Thank you all. This is an important night for me. Everybody in my family is proud. It's nice to be respected, especially when you hit the later years. Thank you for your respect. Thank you for your honor. Amen.
Thank you very much, Bob. You know, we have a few more presentations, obviously. just want to let you know, if you look to your left or look to your right or look in front of you, you've got celebrities all around the room. You don't even know they're here. So there's a gentleman sitting in the back.